Hello and welcome, our blood viewers, to RTD's News English edition. As usual, we bring to you the major and top highlights for tonight. Mohammed Ismail wins gold in the 5,000 meters. The Djiboutian national anthem rings out in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Islamic Solidarity Games. Israeli attack spreads to Gaza. The international scene. Those were our major and top headlines. Welcome back to our newsroom, our blog viewers. Under the high patronage of His Majesty King Mohammed VI and under the effective presidency of Her Royal Highness Princess Leila Mariam, the Chamber of Representatives of the Kingdom of Morocco and the National Observatory for the Rights of the Child, in the presence of His Excellency Mr. Delita Mohammed Delita, President of the Djiboutian National Assembly, organized the African Children's Parliament Forum from 21st to 23rd November 2025 at the Chamber of Representatives in Rabat. The forum was held on the occasion of the International Day of the Rights of the Child. The continent-wide meeting gathered officials, experts, partner institutions, and delegations of child parliamentarians from numerous African countries, reflecting a strong collective commitment to children's rights. Work sessions focused on the central theme, children's participation in the development of Africa, underscoring the essential role of children in the continent's future. In his official remarks, His Excellency Mr. Delita Mohammed Delita, President of the National Assembly of Djibouti, warmly thanked the Moroccan hosts for the quality of their welcome and organization. He paid special tribute to the deep and frontal friendship between the Republic of Djibouti and the Kingdom of Morocco, stressing that this strong bond serves as a model of African cooperation. The President emphasized that the children's rights are central to the future of the continent and the world, and that active participation by young people must be encouraged and valued. The President of the Assembly, His Excellency Mr. Delita Mohammed Delita, underscored the urgency of translating commitments into concrete measures that guarantee children not only legal protection but also meaningful opportunities to participate in public life. He called for increased investment in education, health, and civic structures that enable youth participation and urged partner states institutions to prioritize mechanisms that amplify children's voices at local, national, and regional levels. He emphasized that empowering children strengthens social cohesion and lays the foundation for sustainable development across Africa. A high-level delegation led by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mr. Abdelkader Hussein Umar, participated in the 46th session of the Francophonie Ministerial Conference held on 19 and 28th of November 2025 in Kigali, Rwanda. Djibouti's participation at the conference underlines the leading role played by Djiboutian diplomacy within the Francophone community. The session was held under the theme 30 years after the Beijing Conference, the contribution of women in the Francophone space, recalling Beijing's legacy and the responsibility of Francophonie member states to recognize and support women's decisive contributions. In his address, the minister highlighted the crucial importance of women's empowerment as a lever for economic and social development across the Francophone space. On Thursday, 20 November 2025 at 7 a.m., a major cohesion gathering took place at Camp Sheikh Ousmane Aden Sherif of the Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces, all national defense and security forces, as well as the principal coordinate commands of the Djiboutian Armed Forces participated. General of the Army Corps, Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, first welcomed the day's guest of honor, Grand Sheikh Abdurrashid Ali Soufi, accompanied by the country's ulama. Shortly thereafter, the SEMGA received the Minister of Defense and Chair of Parliamentary Relations, Mr. Hassan Omar Mohammed Burhan. Upon arrival, the minister inspected the Guard of Honor, which included a specially constituted female detachment of the Djiboutian Armed Forces. Authorities then took their places for the official start of the morning's cohesion activities in the presence of representatives from all services.
موقتهاي عسكريو إنا تغير تالكي قباني مادا وقوبيو علنكيو أرلدو tahay askariyo inaad tahay taalkii gobaanimada ugubiyo calankiyo arladu kiyirkanayeen ina tahay awoodii lagu aarsanayay ma og tahay askariyo
On this sacred Friday, in a mood of relevant reflection, General Sheikh Abdul Rashid Ali Sufi addressed all attendees. His remarks highlighted the hadith, emphasizing fraternity, loyalty, and unity within the nation.
تاينو كنت إن شاء الله تعالى توفيقنا الله إنه وفجيو وإسكسو قابلنا هذا الك دبينا الله دافو كي والدينتنا الله دافو ودن كنا الله بركيو أهل جبوتي له بركة اللهم أنزل عليهم بركاتك ورحماتك من السماء والأرض الله بركيو خيرات كدولك الله سوسارو بركات السماء الله سودجيو أمني استقرارك يا ضمانين هذا إلهي هو كرديو وهستان الله هو كرديو محبة هي مودة هي كالقعيل لحدود الله هديقو القوات والشعب كل قود الله يسجعل يسيو إلهي وحن كبرينا بأسمائه الحسنى وصفاته العلى دينته إلهينا وددلالان دعوذينا وددلالان خروج في سبيل الله هي ذكرك إلهي هي قرآنك هي خيرك الله نوسي كرديو دنبي أننا الله دافو دنبي والدينتنا الله دافو قائدنا الحاج زكريا الله بركي عمرك سنة الله زياديو انت كلا جنرال زكريا والجماعة كلهم وزير الدفاع لما انتم كل قوادين وذا دعينينا إن شاء الله رقي دمر وادين وذا دعينينا طبعا أولها وقبل كل شيء ندعو للرئيس إله سبحانه وتعالى عمري يسأل الله ديري عافيمات كيسان الله نوسي كردي إن شاء الله تعالى يدولدو إدلبا يا شعبي قو إدلبا لما انتم الله نوذ الدمرة فكل قين خير كاسين وقوة تكترمينا وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحابته أجمعين الفاتحة بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
The day ended with a solemn prayer in tribute to the martyrs who fell for the nation. In the presence of authorities and representatives of the various forces, a moment of deep reflection was observed, punctuated by invocations and Quranic readings. The ceremony honored the courage and sacrifice of those who gave their lives for the defense and territorial integrity of the country, underscoring the importance of remembrance and national unity.
أكرم نزله وسع مدخله وصله بالماء والثلج والبرد ونقه من الذنوب والمعاصي كما نقيت الثوب الأبيض من الدنس اللهم اجعل قبره روضة من رياض الجنة اللهم اجعل قبره روضة من رياض الجنة اللهم اجعل قبره روضة من رياض الجنة واحشره في زمرة المتقين وأنله شفاعة سيد الأولين والآخرين ورسول رب العالمين اللهم ارحمه والديه وإخوانه وأخواته وجميع أهل جبوتي وجميعهم يا رب العالمين وجميع المسلمين والمسلمات في مشارق الأرض ومغاربها يا رب العالمين نسألك العفو والعافية والمعافاة الدائمة وارحمنا إذا صرنا إلى ما صاروا إليه واغفر لنا جميعا إنك أنت الغفور الرحيم ربنا اغفر لنا ووالدينا والمسلمين أجمعين الفاتحة بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Yesterday in Mumbai, India, the Minister of Energy in charge of Natural Resources, Mr. Yunus Ali Gedi, led a significant delegations on a multi-day working mission. The visit is connected to plans to build in Djibouti a factory to produce drums for bitumen storage with a capacity of 210 barrels per hour. Upon arrival, the minister inspected the Parmar Machine and Technologies plant, the equipment supplier, which he assessed production progress firsthand and finalized remaining details with company officials prior to shipment of the machinery to Djibouti. Once operational, the new factory will produce drums intended for oils, industrial lubricants, and kerosene. The manufacturing unit will be equipped with a complete production line covering all steps of the industrial process. The National Agency for Persons with Disabilities, AMPH, will officially launch the 7th edition of the National Disability Week tomorrow. a major event dedicated to promoting inclusion, well-being, and civic participation for people with disabilities. The national initiative seeks to strengthen equal opportunities and to highlight the skills of all persons living with disabilities. National Disability Week will run from 21st November to 4th December 2025 and will feature more than 2 weeks of activities, meetings, and awareness action aimed at the general public, institutions and community and associative actors. For this 7th edition, the agency has prepared a dense, inclusive program that includes sporting and recreational activities to encourage participation of men and women with disabilities, days dedicated to children, workshops to improve understanding of disability, combat stigma, and promote a more solidaristic society, and community dialogues to encourage exchange between families and associations. The objective is to share experiences, exchange perspectives, and build a collective vision to drive a more inclusive national dynamic that respects everyone's rights. The AMPH invites all partners, institutions, and citizens to join this national celebration and support efforts to build a more inclusive future for all. Throughout this week, the National Agency for Persons with Disabilities reaffirmed the commitment to a society where every citizen without distinction, can fully participate in the country's social, economic, and cultural life.
The Director General of the National Agency for Persons with Disability, Duali Saeed Mahmoud, made a statement at the official launch of the 7th National Disability Week. He announced that November 2020 will mark the official launch of the 7th National Week dedicated to persons with special needs. This event is one of the major annual activities regularly organized by the National Agency for Persons with Special Needs. During this week of commemoration, a variety of programs will be presented, including a tourist outing and leisure activities especially designated for people with special needs, games and entertainment prepared for children with special needs, scientific conferences and debates, the awarding of certificates, the distributions of adapted equipment and materials, and several other activities that will be an integral part of this year's event. As is our custom, we will be highlighting the achievement of the past year and the projects planned for the coming year concerning the promotion and development of people with special needs. Taking this opportunity, he extended his greetings to His Excellency the President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh, the First Lady Khadra Mahmoud Haid, the President of the National Union of Djiboutian Women, the Prime Minister, the President of the National Assembly, the various branches of the defense and security forces, and the entire Djiboutian people.
The closing ceremony of the African Forum for Strengthening Health Product Supply Chains took place Thursday morning, 20 November 2025 at the Kempinski Palace Hotel after 3 days of activities. The final session featured an expanded meeting that brought together several African business leaders affiliated with ACAM, along with representatives from major international pharmaceutical manufacturing and distribution companies from India, Turkey, China, and several European countries. Firms specializing in pharmaceutical transport and logistics also participated. The meetings aimed to strengthen cooperation and to conclude new agreements to improve supply chains and facilitate the movement of health products between African countries and their international partners. At the closing session, the president of the ICAM Djibouti delivered a detailed report on the meeting's outcomes, noting that experts had reached a series of compromises likely to enhance procurement efficiency, develop pharmaceutical transport networks, and improve access to quality health products across African countries. The Djiboutian delegation shone once again on the international stage. After winning the silver medal in the 3,000 meters steep steeplechase, the talented young athlete Mohammed Ismail achieved a new feat tonight by capturing the gold medal in the 5,000 meters at the 6th Islamic Solidarity Games in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. A poignant moment occurred when the Djiboutian national anthem played in the Saudi capital, celebrating this historic victory for the country. The Secretary of the State in charge of sports, Mr. Hassan Mohammed Kamil, warmly congratulated Mohammed Ismail, stating that the young athlete embodies the legacy of the Djiboutian long-distance runners. He added that the sports policy pursued by the head of state, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Gelle, notably through the Excellence Grant awarded to elite athletes, is now yielding results. Indeed, Mohammed Ismail was crowned gold in the 5,000 meters, and the Djiboutian national anthem resounded in Riyadh. During the official medal ceremony for the 5,000 at the 6th Islamic Solidarity Games, Djiboutian athlete Mohammed Ismail was honored for his brilliant victory, securing the gold medal and delivering another achievement for Djibouti in long-distance events. The ceremony was attended by Mr. Diadine Ba Makrama, Djibouti's ambassador to Riyadh, and Mrs. Aisha Ali Garad, president of the Djiboutian National Olympic Committee, who proudly witnessed the medal presentation. An emotional moment followed when the Djiboutian anthem played in the stadium, making a memorable victory and symbolizing the pride of the nation.
With a real strong this time of 13 minutes 46.12 earns him the gold medal. Winner of the men's 5,000 meter final, Mohammed Ismail Ibrahim of Djibouti. We will now have the national anthem of Djibouti.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand if you're able to for the national anthem of Republic of Djibouti.
On 19-20 November 2025, IGAD hosted the 5th Annual Steering Committee meeting of the Regional Migration Fund at the Ayla Hotel in Djibouti, an initiative supported by the German government through KfW. The event brought together representatives of member states, foreign ministers, national refuge agencies, and technical and financial partners, including BMZ, KfW, and GIZ. In his opening remarks, Ambassador Musa Migag, Director of the Health and Social Development Division at IGAD, noted that the RMF has become one of the organization's most impactful initiatives, improving conditions for migrants, refugees, and host communities. He stressed that the meeting provides an opportunity to assess progress, draw lessons, and redefine priorities for the coming year. The report presented highlighted major advances in the Ali Sibih region, comprehensive rehabilitation and expansion of the technical high school, completion of the community development center, and final stage construction of 2 markets in Ali Sibih and Ali Adde. These projects generated more than 350 temporary jobs, strengthening livelihoods and social cohesion between refugees and local communities.
Meeting of the Regional Migration Fund. I am honored to speak on behalf of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and His Excellency Ambassador Gele Idris Omar, the Director of Multilateral Affairs. I would like to extend our appreciation to the IGAD Secretariat for organizing this important meeting. As host of this meeting and chair of IGAD, Djibouti takes pride in welcoming you to this significant regional gathering. Migration is one of the defining challenges of our region, and through collaboration, we can turn it into opportunities for development, resilience, and inclusion. I would like to recognize the remarkable progress achieved under the RMF in Djibouti, particularly in Ali Sabie and Ali Adde. These successes reflect IGAD's commitment to supporting vulnerable and remote refugee hosting areas.
That was Mrs. Yasmin Jama, Deputy Director of the Regional Organizations at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Moving on, the Director of IGAD's Health and Social Development Division reiterated that the RMF is one of IGAD's most impactful initiatives, concretely improving living conditions for migrants, refugees, and host communities. Let's listen to him.
This annual meeting brings together our key partners, senior member state officials, and technical experts to reflect on our cherished journey and shape the way forward for one of IGAD's flagship initiatives, the Regional Migration Fund, RMF. It is not only a moment of review, but also a renewing our collective determination to make migration safer, more orderly, and more beneficial for the communities we serve. Since its launch in 2019, the IRMF has become a sample of practical regional cooperation initiative. It stands out as one of IGAD's most impactful initiatives, directly improving the lives of migrants, refugees, and host communities in remote and often marginalized areas. Together, we have built a strong foundation in implementing transformative intervention in Djibouti, Moyale, Tokwachale, and Nimul Elegu, and creating models of resilience that embody IGAD's visions of turning migration challenges into opportunities for stability and growth.
Let's now listen from the Executive Secretary of IGAD, Dr. Warkane Gabiyo.
Presence affirms our collective resolve to strengthen cooperation and advance sustainable solutions to the region's migration and displacement challenges. Across in our region, IGAD, mobility continues to shape our political, economic, and social landscape. Our member states are countries of origin, you know this very well, and transit and destination at the same time, meaning managing both regular and irregular flows alongside long-standing refugee population. This pressure are intensifying and increasingly require not only humanitarian responses, but durable development-oriented approaches anchored in responsibility sharing and regional solidarity. This is precisely the purpose of the Regional Migration Fund. The RMF has grown into one of the IGAD's most practical instruments for translating policy vision into concrete impact. In fact, this is one of the best vehicles which takes IGAD to the community, that bring together very close, eager to the people. So this project is a very important project, not only being a project, but it has a lot of political meaning in terms of this regional organization. Over the last 18 months, RMF underwent a comprehensive review of its implementation model. This review, conducted jointly with BMZ and KFW, identified the need of clearer responsibilities, stronger technical oversight, and greater efficiency in delivering complex, high-value infrastructure.
Yesterday at the People's Palace, the NGO Peace and Milk, in collaboration with the delegation of the European Union to Djibouti, organized a series of workshops aimed at strengthening the role of civil society organizations in socio-economic development and local governance. The workshops were opened by the Secretary General of the Ministry of the Interior, Suleiman Mu'min, in the presence of representatives of the National Assembly and civil society. Work focused on three themes: valorization of CSOs, contribution to socio-economic development, promotion of gender, social inclusion and support for persons with disabilities, and strengthening the legal environment and governance of CSOs in Djibouti. On the sidelines, a panel debate brought together parliamentarians, local authorities, and CSO representatives for constructive exchange on civic participation, participatory governments, and opportunities for collaboration between public actors and civil society. The event represents an important step towards a durable partnership, fostering open, inclusive, and structured dialogue essential to socio-economic development and the consolidation of civil society in Djibouti. As part of the preparations for the Djibouti Groundwater Resilience and Supply project, phase 2, financed by the World Bank for $31.5 million. A new public consultation workshop was held in Ali Sabih, an essential meeting in Arta organized in the Regional Council meeting room. The session brought together the Deputy Prefect, Mrs. Saadia Wabri Asoui, the Vice President of the Regional Council, Mr. Nuh Saeed Gullon, the Director of Rural Hydraulics and the Regional Deputy Director of the Ministry of Agriculture, Mr. Mahdi Ali Roble, along with representatives of civil society, local notables, and village leaders. The workshop aimed to identify priority needs for drinking water infrastructure and to assess the socio-environmental impacts associated with the project's future activities. Participants highlighted the region's specific challenges related to water availability and the sustainable management of resources. Shifting our focus now towards the international scene, in Gaza, one killed in Khan Yunis. Strikes and demolition operations extend from the Rafah border across Gaza and talks over reopening the Rafah crossing.
Israeli attack spreads to Gaza, a martyr in Khan Yunis, and strikes and demolitions operation extend from Rafah to Gaza amid discussions regarding the reopening of the Rafah crossing. Palestinian medical sources announced this Friday morning the death of a Palestinian man shot by Israeli occupation army in the city of Khan Yunis. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu stated that his government would soon reopen the Rafah crossing after the recovery of the bodies of the remaining hostages in Gaza. A medical sources at the Nasser complex in Khan Yunis indicated that a displaced person arrived at Martyr after being shot by the Israeli occupation army on Altina Street in the southern part of the city. Meanwhile, at dawn this morning, the Israeli occupation army launched a series of airstrikes accompanied by demolitions operation, artillery bombardment, and heavy gunfire targeting several areas behind what is now at the yellow line in the Gaza Strip. In Rafah, in the far south of the strip, the occupation army conducted further airstrikes targeting several areas of the city. In Khan Yunis, southern Gaza Strip, media outlets reported that occupation forces conducted intense airstrikes inside the yellow line east of the city, alongside artillery bombardment and heavy Israeli tank fire in the area.
Ashraf Hakimi wins the 2025 African Ballon d'Or. More details with Mohamed Aden.
Football, Ashraf Hakimi wins the 2025 African Player of the Year award. Finalists in 2023 and 2024, Ashraf Hakimi has won the 2025 African Player of the Year award. The Paris Saint-Germain right-back has been named the continent's best player of the year, winner of the Champions League, Ligue 1, the Coupe de France, and the Trophy the Champions. The Moroccan international added another title to his impressive record this year's scoring the Champions League quarter-finalists, semi-finalists, and final. Achraf Hakimi finished the season with 11 goals and 17 assists in 55 matches. He won the trophy against stiff competition from Egypt, Mohamed Salah, and Nigeria, Victor Osimhen. He is the first Moroccan to win the African Ballon d'Or since Mustafa Hadji's victory in 1998. The CAF award ceremony was also held in Rabat, Morocco, 1 month before the event name.
Well, Badis Blood viewers, we finally conclude this edition. Thank you for being with us, and make sure to tune in later for more as usual. Have a wonderful evening and take care. Thank you.